Whoop, there it is. There's my curb. So since I'm here, guys, I gotta try at least one or two. Last time a guy came walking out, "Hey, I like your Slappies." Indian guy. I feel like he's management, maybe an owner of this movie theater. He didn't have a hard time with us. He didn't tell us to leave either, but we did leave. Upon seeing him approach, we were like, we're good. Let's scoop it up and go. But since then, I realized that the little groove I put in my trucks, it sort of makes the curb more grippy. So I busted out some Indy 169 my kids bought me for my first setup. And I figure, let's see what they feel like without the groove. And I'm assuming it's gonna be a little more slick. So let's set the camera up. I'll try to get a couple, and then we're gonna head out. And I think we're gonna go to Torchy's, because In-N-Out's not even open yet. Boy, my first try. Boy, dudes, when I first started to learn these Slappies, I really almost wanted to like lift up and get into it. And then Handy with shovels there commented to me and he said, to be a legit Slappy, you really want to ride in and just slam your front truck into it. For being a little nervous about trying this again today, on an inch shorter truck, different setup, different trucks for that matter, I was a little more cautious. And so I went into taking Handy with Shovel's advice about not lifting up and more just driving my truck into it. And it definitely feels better, I will say. Oh, front side feels so nice. Whoa! Ah! Oh. Oh, that wasn't the best. Yeah, that one sort of hurts. I didn't get up on it. That just means I'm gonna pull this one off. I gotta get one. Wow. So right now I think I'm coming from a place of fear, and I'm really trying to get my front foot decked a little more. Whereas a front side Slappy, in my opinion, you need to kind of keep your weight. You need to keep your weight back. Once you start leaning forward, it's sort of over. Huh? Yeah, I'm done. All right, guys, so I wasn't gonna quit until I got that one. I'm glad I did. It was pretty nice, man. It's all about like beating that fear mindset that comes in, because it tries to get you to do these things to save your butt. And honestly, they don't save your butt, because the committing to the trick is what makes the difference. So what's my setup today? Mentioned before, I got the standard Indy 169, standard kingpin. I've got Bones hard bushings in there. No bottom washer. I'm using the stock top washer. I love how that fits. Nomad. Try using that washer, dude. I think it looks crisp too. It looks better, especially if you're using a Bones bushing. Wheels, I got the 92A Ricta Clouds. What up?
What up?
All right, back to the wheels. I'm riding a 56 millimeter. For street, my opinion, especially if you want to be pulling any kind of slide tricks. You saw how that front side power slide I did in the parking lot there was silent. Like, that's a little grippier than I want it to be for slide tricks. So, I mean, maybe I can, and maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know. I don't really slide things like that much. Maybe a 92A, even though it's silent, is going to be something I love in the end. Maybe you guys can leave some comments down below and let me know what you think. I feel a little more comfortable hearing a chirp. I almost feel like I'm not going to flat spot my wheels as easy, and maybe that's totally wrong. You know, I've said before on my channel, I sort of do reviews, beginner reviews for beginners. I'm going to tell you what a scared, old, 49 years old, not that old, but I'm going to sort of share with you what my opinion is of products, because it's likely going to be what your opinion might be as well. The pros have better skills than us, so there's certain things that we need in a wheel or feel comfortable in a wheel. I had a guy ask me the other day, he was thinking of switching from Pal Peralta Bones wheel. I think that's like a 64 millimeter, and it's a 97A, and he was thinking of switching to the Rock Candy. And he said, I mostly do wide carving turns, and I really just stay under the coping and do carving runs. And the Rock Candy, it's good for that. If that's what I did right now, and that's all I did right now, I would dig riding the Rock Candy. I would also like the SPF. I think the SPF feels better. I love the way it sounds on the coping, but I feel like the Rock Candy is a more stable wheel. I feel like you're less likely to get your wheels to slide out on the Rock Candies because they have a little bit wider contact patch, and something about the urethane is less smooth. I've ridden mine for quite a while and they stayed grippy. Like, they didn't, it's not like some stone ground surface that once you wear through you're back to a normal feeling wheel. No, it stayed feeling like the Rock Candy did new. So if that's the only kind of riding I did and I was really good at it, sure, man. But he'd only been skating a year. He's 49, he's my age, and there's not a lot of roots there, right? Your root system, your steel roots, they're definitely not steel at that point. They're delicate. So with that being said, I advised him, go with that 97, maybe try it up in a different size wheel, maybe go to a 99 before you go to a 104 with a super hard core. It just makes good sense. There's a lot of rippers. They've been skating their whole lives. They ride the 97 urethane. I know a lot of people, the Illusion, he rides that Combo Elite OJ wheel, that's a 97. And that makes good sense. I'm coming back around to the point where I realize I don't need to be on the hardest rock wheel out there I can find. That it might be a little safer, trying to hone my skills, my roots, let my root system get bigger before I really try to get out there with a variety of different products. Like, I've already done that. Like, I've rode those wheels for a year. And I love those wheels, but I will say, certain times I've had the biggest crash, like the time I ripped my elbow open and smacked my head. That was a slip out on wheels, and those were only 101s. So, I don't know. That's my 2 cents. For what it's worth, it's only about 2 cents worth. So, you guys decide. Yeah. Either way, just get out there and do it. Changing gear up is fun. I'm going to put my Rock Candies back on something. I'm not sure what. But to get back to these 92A Rictas, I dig these wheels in the street. For slappies, they seem to work great. I think I would prefer a 58 millimeter. I like having a little more diameter when I'm going over, you know, cracks in the sidewalk or rocks or sticks or anything like that. I like having my wheels a little bigger. We're not in that small wheel era, so if you're an older dude skated in the early 90s, get out of that, because not everybody's riding these tiny wheels anymore. But yeah, I give a thumbs up to the Ricta 92A Clouds in the street. The Moon Cruisers, the 78. See, we have a 78 and we also have an 86 Ricta Cloud at home too. Those are super fun, just cruising around. But I think if I'm coming out to do slappies, ollies, kick flips, anything like that, I think I'm gonna go on at least the 92. Maybe try to find a 95A in some cool shape, color, brand, sticker, new sticker, whatever. All right, man. Later, guys.